Hello everyone, I am Krupali and I would like to welcome you back to the PhD Scholar series of Humans in Education project. In this series, we speak with PhD scholars from prestigious institutes worldwide and share their inspirational stories. While listening to their journey, the aim of this series is to know about their motivation, their goal, and also to discuss about the opportunities for the scholarships in that specific country or in that specific research field. Today I am here with the fourth episode of this series and our guest for today is Manan Bhatt from India. Manan is awarded with prestigious Marie Curie Fellowship. He is doing his PhD in Experimental and Translational Medicine from University of Insubria, Italy. He did his master's in micro and nanotechnology from Munich University of Applied Science, Germany. In this conversation, Manan mainly talked about his research field, then about his research group, how he was selected for Marie Curie Fellowship, and what are the steps to apply for this scholarship. He also discussed about other scholarships and his living experience as an international student in Germany and Italy. So now let's listen more from Manan. Thank you so much, Manan, for accepting my invitation and welcome to this session. So first, can you please tell me a bit more about you?
Oh, hi. So it's a pleasure being here. Let me start by giving some brief introduction about myself. So basically, I come from India. I did my bachelor's in electronics and communication engineering from Gujarat Technological University. After working in different industries for 5, 6 years, I decided that no, I want to pursue my master's, and the destination I had chosen was Germany. So back in Pune, I learned German language for about a year, got good proficiency, and then applied in different universities. And then I chose Munich University of Applied Science, where I did my master's in nanotechnology. And during my master's, I got some opportunities with nice internship and all, and I got exposed to the world of electrophysiology. So after finishing my master's, I applied for Marie Curie Fellowship, and then I got my opportunity in the host university of Varese in Subria, in Italy. So I am living right now near Milan, doing my PhD in simpler word, I could say experimental and translational medicine.
What is your research area a bit in detail and how you land up in this area? How did you decide that you want to pursue research in this field?
It's kind of an interesting story in a way that, okay, I started my bachelor's as an electronics engineer, but I think like most of the engineers from India, by the second or third year, we realized that, okay, this is not exactly I want to do in my life. So by the time I reached my third year, I was like, okay, I like electronics as a fundamental, but I do not want to work with machines, basically. I did not want to invest my whole life after advancing machinery and chips and everything. I wanted to see the application of electronics with human body. So in my bachelor's, I got a kind of interesting topic that I wanted to make mental stress measurement, that kind of device. So obviously at that time, I did not have enough resources to work on it, but I got the chance to understand that how brain is working basically with the fundamentals of electronics. So that was my first exposure towards my final journey to PhD. So when I went from bachelor's to master's, we studied nanotechnology, where I could see that, okay, the fundamentals of electronics are connected with chemistry, physics, biology, everything.
Yes.
So I got to learn all those branches. And in my master's thesis, I was working with a company called Nanion in Munich, Germany. So they are working with electrophysiology. Now, this field is about all the electronic thing happening in the human physiology, in your body, primarily in brain and heart. So the topic was interesting. I studied for about a year with that company. And then ultimately I saw that, okay, there is an opportunity in a European Union funded program. And that's where I applied. So now to my PhD topic from this, that basically I'm working with neurotransmitters. So in our brain, our neurons are basically generating signals, electrical signals. They transmit signals to your different organs, and your organs respond to that. So you might have heard of dopamine, serotonin. So there is also another neurotransmitter called GABA, which is very important to keep you relaxed. Okay, it is an inhibitor in neurotransmitter. So if there is an imbalance of the level in brain of this neurotransmitter, you have different kind of diseases. With this GABA, if it is not in balance, you have epilepsy, stroke, depression, etc. So that is the world that, okay, biologists understand that, okay, this is how the imbalance works. But the electrical signaling part, that is where our expertise can be of help. So my work basically is to study the neurons, the cells at the molecular level, try to understand how these molecules are transported. We study different kind of proteins. We try to develop certain kind of drugs which can be administered to the patients and with the bare minimum side effects eventually. So that is my research area. And it still surprises me at times that, okay, from background of engineering, right now I'm working in the world of biology.
So why did you choose that want to do your master's from Germany, not from another European countries?
Yeah. So as a child, I had that kind of background. My father is also a scientist. So he had friends who had visited Germany for research work. There was exchange program, and I got to understand from a young age that, okay, the Germans have a positive attitude towards research. They are curious people and they are technology oriented. And so that was my first thought that, okay, I could do that. And another thing that I was observing that, okay, there are a lot of Indians going to all the English speaking countries, US, UK, Australia, Canada, everywhere. So we are in abundance there already. So I'm like, okay, their technology is fine, but I will not be somebody who is, a rare in that kind of condition. I will be just another Tom, Dick, and Harry. So I was like, okay, if I'm getting to be have my own identity plus with advanced research, why not? And the best and the primary advantage I could see that if you are going to any American or British university, the courses are heavily, like, with heavy tuition fees, you have to pay a lot. The advantage over here was that in Germany, all the universities are government funded. So you do not have to spend a lot of money behind tuition fees. So my education overall in Munich for about 2.5 years, I paid less than what I paid for my bachelor's in India.
Okay.
And that is not something I could have done in any other country. So I'm like, okay, if I'm getting fantastic facilities with this kind of funding by government because they want skilled labor coming to their own country. So I chose Germany with such kind of mindset that, okay, it looks like a longer and better prospect.
Right.
And also, of course, we are Gujaratis. We think little longer than just studying and get out. So another prospect was that, okay, what is there after the masters? So the job prospect of Germany is really nice. Their industry is really strong. And along with that, the residency program they are running. Unlike USA, it's not based on lottery system. It is more based on your skills, your time, and your salary. So I could see that, okay, those are the controllables that as a human being, we can actually control. So I understood that, okay, Germany has a better opportunity in compared to US. The only problem was the language. Okay, so they don't speak English. We can speak English. So for that, I had to learn German, and then I decided to go there.
Okay. And okay, so you did masters from Germany, but then you applied for the various PhD programs, right? So your focus was only on Germany or another countries too for PhD?
So to be honest, the moment I finished my master's, it was 2020 of July. Okay. And I finished it. And then I was like, okay, now I have to apply for different jobs. My goal was that, okay, I wanted to start working with industry directly. PhD was not on my mind. I was thinking about it, but I was thinking that, okay, the salary that normal PhD has, I was not completely satisfactory with that. That, okay, the kind of mindset I was having, I thought that, okay, let me work with industry for some time, then I might see that. So at that time, maybe I was lucky, maybe not. I don't know. I had just applied for three job positions so far. One was with industry, one was with Brain Research Institute in Berlin, and the third one was a Marie Curie Fellowship program. The program is called NeuroTrans, based on neurotransmitters. So there, it was of more of my interest because what work they were doing, I had already similar experience of working with that during my master's internship. So I had applied for these three positions, and now it was a time of pandemic. You were at home. You didn't know what was going to be the next step. But fortunately, very next week, I got an interview call from this Marie Curie network. They were interested and happy with my profile. and they gave me a shot. In August, we had an interview. I had a follow-up interview the same month, and after that, the supervisor just informed me by first week of September that, okay, Manan, I like you and I want you to join our team. When can you come? And I'm like, okay, I'm just packing up my bags from Munich and let me come there. So when I decided this, by that time, I did not know a single word in Italian language. I
Okay.
didn't even know how to say yes and no in Italian, but I was like, okay, it's just another challenge, another country. And as an Indian, we are open to these things because in different states, we speak different languages already. So we think that we will go there and we will figure things out. That's all right. So it was a complete new challenge for me. And that's why I came and ended up in Italy. And fortunately, I have been working with a fantastic team. The people are nicer, they are friendlier, and I enjoy Italy. Yes.
Okay, that's good. So you are selected for Marie Curie Fellowship, which is very prestigious, or I think the most prestigious one for the European countries. So what
Yeah.
is the procedure to apply for this fellowship or the PhD?
Yeah. So there are different kind of networks involved with Marie Curie Fellowship. So they have different structures. One is individual fellowship.
Okay.
Usually they are given to either if you have like already very skilled research background and you know exactly this is my project, this is what I want to work, and this is the guide. You have identified everything and then you apply for it, which is very rare because it's at the early stage of your career, it is really difficult to find that.
Yes.
The another type is specifically designed for early stage researchers. So people like you and me who are just coming out of masters and they want to understand how the research world. So the network is called ETN, Innovative Technology Networks. Okay, so you can find this information on the website of European Union, which is called Euraxis.
Yeah.
I can give you the name and then you can put it in the link. So this is a website where European Union, they fund different kind of programs and they put all their information on this website. So I went to that website, I checked different networks, and I found that, okay, this is network of my interest, this is of my interest. And after that, there are certain eligibility criteria
Okay.
that, okay, you should be coming from this kind of research field.
Hmm.
Apart from that, you should not be living in the same country where you want to go and do your research. The purpose behind this fellowship is that they want to create a network among European countries. So during this fellowship, you should be open to working with different countries. So for example, right now I'm in Italy. Next month, I'm going to Vienna for a few months. The next year, I will be going to Germany for a few months. So you have to go to different places, different teams, and work with them. So you should have that openness. You should be fluent in English. That is bare minimum for them. And the most important thing, in my opinion, was the letter of motivation, because they have a long formula, a long form that you have to fill up, that there will be different questions and all, and you can apply for 2 or 3 projects among the entire network. But for each, you have to give that why you want to study this and what makes you the best candidate to do this. So here it is not about that, okay, if you have certain grade in your masters and if you know certain subject you are in, they are more of people that, okay, if you do not have the grade, we don't care. If you are curious, if you want to study something, then we can give you a shot. So the process was a little complicated because when they take you for an interview, the interview is usually of 5 different people from 5 different countries, and then they are taking your interview. You have to give a presentation and you have to show that what you have done so far. They ask you different questions, the questions that you expect to be asked after your master's level. Okay, so you should be very well versed with your master's thesis. So that is what my professors in Munich told me. My seniors told me that, Manan, even if you get little less grade in different subjects, it's all right. Your master's thesis should be like completely yours. If
Yeah.
they wake you up at midnight and ask you certain things, you should know from your thesis. So that is their goal, because thesis is something that is completely research based. It is your own work. So for such kind of fellowship, I think your knowledge on your thesis is the primary work. That if you are good with that, you are in. One more thing I would say, that not just that you have to work with a different kind of people, you understand different lab culture as well, but also you get to learn different techniques. You have certain time to learn the technique. And the European Union emphasis that, okay, after 3 months at working one lab, it is not necessary that your results are positive or negative, but you should have learned the technique. So they are trying to give you a platform where you can learn multiple techniques. So if you think logically, if you spend 3 or 4 years in an industry working on something, you will still have one particular skill. But
Yeah.
if you work with Marie Curie Fellowship, you develop like multiple skills, you know, multiple things.
Yeah.
So
So for most of the time you worked with your research group in Italy, right? Main
yeah,
research group. So
yes.
can you please tell me a bit more about your research group?
Yes. So in our research group, we are right now 3 PhD students. We have a technician, of course, my supervisor and another professor. And along with that, there are some masters and bachelor students who come and go for the research work they come. So we are basically 3 people all working with similar technique but different projects. We are very efficient team in a sense that we try and understand each other really well, even though they don't speak English very well, and I don't speak Italian, but we somehow figure out the way that, okay, I can understand certain Italian, they have improved their English skills. So in the beginning, it was a little bit challenging, but if I believe that if you're flexible enough, people overall they are nice people that, okay, they will adjust a little bit and try to accommodate you. So
Yes.
you should be willing to show that, okay, I'm ready to learn your language and I'm ready to help, then people are
Yes.
fine. So our team works with that kind of goal. And yeah, so even there are some points that, okay, our research work overlaps with each other. So sometimes we get some very good interesting debates that, okay, we are just having a cup of coffee and we are discussing that, okay, I think in that way, they are like, okay, I think in that way, and you have like different discussions and it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is from my experience, I can say this is the main benefit of doing PhD from Europe, that you don't have boss, you have your colleagues.
Yes.
Yeah, they
Yes, true.
consider you as colleagues, and it's very, very good to discuss over the coffee table in very light mode.
One very good thing that I have is that my supervisor, she is super chilled professor. Okay, she works really hard, but she at the very same time she will take care of you like your mother in a sense that,
Wow.
okay, she will take care of very little things as well. For example, if you feel sick and you say that, sorry, today I cannot come, by evening there will be definitely WhatsApp message that, are you feeling all right? Do you need anything? Should I bring you some medicine? And such kind of behavior, you see that, okay, in a foreign country somebody's taking care of you like this, then you pour your heart out in your research work that, no, if she is doing this for me, I will take a bullet for her. It's something like that.
I'm sure you have also explored the another options, another scholarships also. So which scholarships are usually students apply for pursuing the PhD in Germany?
Okay. So I would say, okay, while I'm answering you for Germany, I will try to cover the part of Italy as well, because it's more or less similar in that direction. So one very good benefit over here is that in Germany or in Italy, in both cases, that your PhD work, you are not working for free. There is a fixed stipend that you get. In Germany, the amount is about 1,300 euros a month, more or less. And in Italy, it's about 1,100 to 1,200 euros a month. So every university has this kind of funding for specific PhD positions. So when they declare the PhD position, they say that, okay, you will be getting this much monthly amount. So that is your fellowship from government. So whenever you are applying to any government funded university, you just look for a funded research position, PhD position, and then you can apply for it. The criteria are more or less similar. Other than that, in Germany specifically, there are research institutes with Max Planck Institute. There is Jülich Research Center, and there are many similar research centers as well, where you can apply for a PhD position. There is funding, and you also get a salary of about 15 to 1,800 euros a month. All this information in Germany specifically, you can find on their website, DAAD, DAAD.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you might have known that already. So on this website, there are different funded projects and different funded scholarships already available. So I would suggest that, okay, go for any government university, you will have a minimum funding. But in Germany, there is one very good thing that I have observed, especially for master students who are already in there in Europe. Okay, so if you are doing your masters and if you know certain industry where you have done your internship, or if you have contacts, there are many universities who will do collaboration with the industry.
Okay.
During your PhD, you will be working with an industry. So you will have a university, you will have your research work, but you will also work for an industry. So you have good enough amount of salary, and after PhD, you know that, okay, your industry will be hiring you. So there are many positions like this, and if I hadn't got the Marie Curie fellowship, I would have gone for something like that, because it's amazing that, okay, while working for industry, you are doing research and you are getting a degree. So such kind of structure is also available, and these positions also you can find on DARD itself. So yeah, that's
So yeah, so all this was related to PhD position and research and all. But now I want to ask another kind of question. So you first time moved to Germany for your masters, and I think it was first time you move abroad from India. So what was your first cultural shock?
To be honest, there are many cultural shocks as such. To give you a general idea about German people, that okay, there is a kind of impression that they are serious people, they keep their own work, they are not very humorous, they don't talk much. More or less, the stereotype is correct, not completely. But yeah, the people are very nice and they are helpful. One shocking thing that I would love to explain and try to show you the difference between Germany, Italy, and India as well. Okay. So as an Indian, especially Gujaratis, we love our breakfast. Okay, our breakfast is always heavy with multiple options. So I'm talking about my fourth or fifth month in Munich, and I was finding a part-time job. I was working at a normal bar restaurant as a waiter for a few months, and I remember that was like a normal morning. About 8:30, Germans wake up early. So about 8:30, there was a lady who came to the restaurant, and I was expecting she will ask for a coffee, a pretzel, or something. So I just went to her and I asked for the order. And that lady, who was like in her late 70s, she just asked me, "Give me Einstein, a big glass of beer."
Okay.
I'm like, "It's 8 in the morning." And she's like, "No, just give me beer." And then I talked to another waiter, and he was like, "Yes, it's very common that early in the morning, 8 o'clock, they will ask for a glass of beer and you're just supposed to pour it." And I was really surprised that, okay, this is the breakfast, they are having a glass of beer. And on the other hand, in Italy, they also take their breakfast little early, but their breakfast is all sweet. Okay, everything will be sweet. Okay, there will be croissant, the French style, and any other thing that you order, their breakfast has to be sugary. So as an Indian, for me, it was really strange that, okay, this is something we don't do, that early morning, everything cannot be sugary. We need some variations in that. So that was one big shock. The one difference that I fondly noticed between Germany and Italy is that Germans are really nice. They are friendly people, but they will keep their personal life personal, professional life professional. Whereas in Italy, I have the memories that I can relate with India. That, okay, the bureaucracy is very slow. The administration will take long time to do things. They will take multiple coffee breaks. They will gossip about each other, and all the things that we see in India, that people are loud, they do gossips and everything, that I can see in Italy, not in Germany.
Okay.
So that is one big difference. So in Italy, I feel little bit less homesick, but in Germany, you can feel homesick.
Yes, even I heard about Italy from my Italian colleagues that they also have the arranged marriages like in India.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they do. And especially in the south of Italy, they still live like, there are families who will live with their parents, and the marriage will be like big. Like in India, we have like, okay, if there is a marriage in a village, everyone will be there. They also have similar weddings.
Yes.
So those things give me like, okay, I'm little closer to my home.
Yeah, that's interesting. So that's all for this session, Manan. Thank you so much for your valuable time and all the information. I'm sure that will be very useful for the students. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, and thank you as well for conducting such kind of sessions. I look forward that, okay, some students take benefit of this and they can face a little less hurdles than you and I we have faced. Yeah.
You are welcome. Thank you so much for appreciating.